And shifting focus to Sri Lanka, where the Sri Lankans elected the Rajapaksas to power, expecting better political reforms. But in return, what they received was the worst financial crisis in history. A chronic shortage of fuel, food and medicines. It's been more than 2 months and the situation is not getting any better. These shortages persist, the reserves are running out. Sri Lanka has been forced to turn to the IMF once again. A 10-member IMF delegation has arrived in Colombo. It's holding talks for another bailout. Amid all these talks, the Sri Lankan government is also trying to curtail the powers of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. More in our next report. Take a look.
They once called him the Terminator, a leader who ruled with an iron fist. Today, they're calling him a dead man walking, a leader losing his grip on power, courtesy of a new constitutional amendment. It will clip Gotabaya Rajapaksa's powers. We are talking about the 21st Amendment to Sri Lanka's constitution. It was passed by the Sri Lankan cabinet on Monday. The aim was to empower the parliament over the executive. In other words, curtail Gotabaya Rajapaksa's power as president. This amendment will bring 3 big changes. 1. Enhance the parliament's role in governing Sri Lanka. 2. Empower the Constitutional Council to make appointments. Earlier, the president had that power. And 3. Restrict the president's power to dismiss cabinet members. To put it simply, this amendment will reduce the Sri Lankan presidency to a ceremonial position. But it hasn't been implemented yet. For that, it will have to be approved by the Sri Lankan parliament. At least 2/3 of the parliamentarians need to vote in its favor. This is a major political reform in Sri Lanka. It comes at a time when a 10-member IMF delegation is in Colombo. It is discussing a possible bailout. These talks are crucial. Sri Lanka is days away from running out of fuel. Its foreign reserves are nearly gone. It's unable to import food and medicine. Plus, it has to pay back $5 billion of debt every year until 2026. At a time like this, Colombo hopes the IMF visit will yield some dividends. Sri Lanka needs a bailout desperately. Public discontent is mounting. Thousands of citizens are on the streets. They are protesting against chronic shortages. Global bodies are trying to pitch in. The United Nations has outlined a plan to raise $47 million in assistance for the next 4 months. The World Food Programme is distributing food vouchers to thousands of pregnant women. The International Monetary Fund says it wants to help too. But the assistance depends on how well Colombo executes the IMF's recommendations. Chief among them is renegotiating its Chinese debts. Now we know that China is also providing financial aid to Colombo. But on debt, there is no relief. China has neither extended debt repayment deadlines nor even reduced interest rates on loans. Bureau Report. WION. World is One.